乔丹15年职业生涯中有无数让人津津乐道的事迹。接下来的3支影片，我们整理包括公牛和奇才时期25位乔丹曾经的队友，从他们的视角讲述乔丹从1984年进入联盟，直到2003年退役，每一年的进化之路和鲜为人知的传奇故事。84至85赛季，菜鸟赛季，乔丹横空出世，直接就打出了全明星级别的表现。公牛中锋 Dave Corzine 和乔丹做了5年的队友，看着乔丹从菜鸟成长为冠军。在他眼中，刚从大学进入 NBA 的乔丹，对教练和队友都毕恭毕敬。
What did you see that you felt like was part of what made Michael Jordan who he is?
Just any other rookie coming out of college. He was very respectful of elders, coaches, anybody in authority position. He was just a rookie coming in ready to learn and earn his position in the league. He didn't come in with an attitude or feel that he was better than anybody else. My first 5 years with Michael there, we hadn't won a championship yet. So in some ways, it was a different environment, but I think as a person deep down, he was the same person.
生涯第1年的乔丹还是以适应联盟为主，并没有展现出暴君的属性。85至86赛季，生涯第2年，乔丹因为脚部骨折，仅打了18场常规赛和3场季后赛。这一年 ，Mike Smart 被公牛选中，但只打了1个赛季就被交易到了湖人。在这一年和乔丹的相处中，令他印象最深刻的就是乔丹积极的训练态度。
Did he talk trash to you, Mike? Was he a respectful guy to the big man?
Yeah, he never said anything bad towards me. I always, got along with him well. And, he was just very, very, very intense. The thing that you remember about Michael was that every second, whether it was practice or a game, he was all out. The most competitive person and just he gave everything every second.
86至87赛季，生涯第3年，乔丹打出了场均37.1分的神迹。他的队友杰因 Banks 见证了乔丹过去2年的成长，但随后他便在87年休赛季因为私自参加比赛导致韧带撕裂，被公牛拒绝支付下赛季的薪水，而 Banks 从此也便离开了 NBA。他曾透露，训练中队友们对乔丹非常凶狠，以至于在正式比赛时，乔丹甚至觉得比训练时的强度还要低不少。
He was a maniac. He loved to practice. He came at you at practice. We took him out. I mean, we physically beat the hell out of him, and he took it. So the games for him were pretty much easier than practices were.
硬汉 Charles Oakley 是乔丹在联盟中的保镖，两人的关系非常要好。奥克利曾透露，那时的乔丹每天早上都要吃麦当劳，比赛前还要加餐一顿牛排。
We ate a lot of McDonald's back then. MJ ate McDonald's for every morning for breakfast.
Word.
Every morning he ate McDonald's. Yeah.
Sound like Ocho Cinco.
Yeah.
If it works.
Right. And before game, he eat a steak before every game.
A steak? A whole steak?
Before every game.
Damn, that's heavy, boss.
Probably got more cool because we was somewhere and MJ and the guy got into it. I mean, it was real messy. So it was about a bill. So once you pick the check up, MJ, nigga, you get a check too. Fuck that, you pick it up. So they went at it and that. So it was like a lot of tension. So they almost got in a fight. And I'm like, man, man, y'all need to cut it out, this and that, man. He was like, he get a check. You been in the league before me. So they got all them guys out of there and took 2 or 3 years, but then he got to start running the team his way, and you see what happened.
这一年，乔丹还没有成为球队绝对的领袖，场上和场下还有不少队友不服，训练中对乔丹发狠，场下还为谁来结账和乔丹发生争执。87至88赛季，生涯第4年的乔丹依旧有场均35分的表现，3.2次抢断也是联盟第1。公牛也在选秀大会选中了皮蓬和格兰特。这一年，球队的首发控卫是 Sam Vincent， 场均能有13分、8.4助攻的表现。在 Vincent 的印象中，乔丹是一位完美主义者，还是一个工作狂。
He demands perfection. Probably the toughest thing about working with Michael is he's a workaholic. He never stops. So from the morning until late at night, he's motivated to always be challenged and be the best, and he carries that throughout his whole staff.
88至89赛季，乔丹在88至89赛季已经成长为联盟独一档的巨星。 公牛替补大签 Brad Sellers 和乔丹合作了3个赛季。他表示，此时的乔丹在个人能力上已经超越了巅峰期的贾巴尔，任何防守在他面前都不堪一击。
I mean, I saw the best defenders in the league get shredded. Shredded. This kid here was the greatest. And I'm including Kareem in his heyday. I'm including, I caught Wilt in his tail end. I said, he's the greatest, right? I said, can't you tell from these highlights? I said, can't you just see? He was shredding people like it was nobody's business, right?
这一年，公牛还从76人交易得到 Craig Hodges， 作为球队的替补控卫，场均可以贡献10分2.8助攻。Hodges 也和乔丹一起经历了之后的2连冠。他对乔丹最深刻的印象就是他非人类的身体调整能力，变相时球鞋都极度扭曲。
One time, I can recall me and BJ sitting on the bench, and we're sitting on the end of our chairs, and Michael gets a move, baseline. The defender is here. That's out of bounds. MJ is facing him here. And somehow he was able to go around, plant here, get here, and go up and dunk the basketball. So for me, some of the stuff that he would do would be almost superhuman from a standpoint that how can you make a pivot when he would turn so sharp, you would see his shoe almost come off. Literally, where he would turn a corner on the baseline and you would see this happen, and the next movement was a powerful thrust and up to dunk on somebody. That's incredible to me.
89至90赛季，生涯第6个赛季，乔丹逐渐步入巅峰期，但是在季后赛再次倒在了活塞脚下。Will Perdue 是球队2年级的新秀中锋，场均有3.8分、2.8篮板的表现。在乔丹的生涯中，他曾和不少队友有过冲突，甚至大打出手，而 Will Perdue 就是其中之一。
You had a fight with Jordan in a practice, correct?
Yes. So we kept running this one play where I was setting screens on him. One time I hit him pretty hard. He bounced up off the floor and he said, "Listen, you do that again, I'm going to punch you." So as soon as that happened, Johnny Bach, who was the assistant coach that set up our defensive schemes, immediately yelled, "Run it again." So I thought to myself, hey man, if I'm going to get punched by this guy, which I still didn't think he was going to do it, I'm going to make sure I get my money's worth. So I made sure it was an illegal screen. I don't think I ever stopped. I just ran right through him, knocked his ass to the ground. He got up and immediately just turned around and hauled off and swung at me, and boom. But again, it wasn't like it turned into a debacle. Eddie Neely, who was on the team at the time, grabbed me from behind and just kind of said, "Oh, big boy, that's probably not a good idea." And then the other thing was we just, settled down, continued to practice. It wasn't like they separated practice and, "Oh, that's it, we're done. You guys got to go in a room and hash it out." We just kept practicing. That stuff happened a lot more than people think, but it was refreshing when we played games on those Bulls teams because of how competitive and how hard we went at it in practice.
Well, Purdue here on the Rich Eisen Show, did you have to have that environment, you think, in order to win as much as you did? I mean, was it necessary?
That type of atmosphere wouldn't work now. And maybe it wouldn't because people are different. Personalities are different. Egos are different. But the one thing I can always say is people are like, "Oh, he was a tyrant." I never looked at it that way. I thought he was a guy that was trying to motivate his teammates. You had to adapt to his style.
89至90赛季，公牛选中了大前锋 Stacey King。一直以来，乔丹都是 King 的偶像。大学时期，每次比赛前，他都会摸一摸墙上乔丹的海报，希望能沾点好运。然而，在和乔丹成为队友后 ，King 在比赛前的更衣室里，看着乔丹光溜溜的后背，竟然做出了一件恶心的事。
You ready? When I was in college, I was a big Michael Jordan fan.
For Oklahoma at center, a 6'10" junior from Lawton, Oklahoma, number 33, Stacey King.
I had a poster of Michael Jordan on my wall. So when I would go to the game, I would actually rub the poster, one time, sometimes twice if I wanted to have a really, really good game. And I'd go out and score 30, 40. And so I always attributed touching MJ's poster brought me luck. So then, how ironic I get drafted by the Bulls. So my first game, come in, I felt like I didn't need the poster anymore because I got Michael Jordan next to me now. I remember going out getting ready to go shoot. Michael was had his shirt off. He's had his North Carolina shorts on, so he's in the middle of getting dressed, which is kind of awkward if you think about this story I'm going to tell you. I start to walk out and I go, "Hey, you know what? used to touch his poster. I think I'm gonna touch him. What luck with that? That'll be really awesome because I get to touch the real guy now, and that'll bring me luck. So I walk over to MJ, he's, his shirt's off, he's got his back turned to me, he's in his North Carolina shorts, he's getting dressed, and I walk over and I rub him twice. Now that I look back on it, it was kind of awkward. So he looks at me, he's like, what are you doing? He said, oh man, I used to touch your poster when I was in college, man, it used to bring me luck. He said, man, get away from me, dude. Don't be doing that. I'm like, and I didn't think it was weird at the time, but then I looked back and I said, oh yeah, that might have been a little bit crossing the line. But after that, I didn't have to touch him anymore. He said, don't ever touch me again. I'm on your team. So I'm like, okay, cool. But your mind tells you, it's a mind thing. You gotta believe in something.
好了，这就是今天冷饭说的全部内容了。小伙伴们记得点赞、订阅、加评论哟。冷饭说，我们下回接着说。